Hello, good evening, happy Sunday. How are you all today? Thank God for another beautiful Sunday. And thank you, as usual, for always coming online to give me that encouragement and that support that I need. I just want to say a special thank you to my wonderful husband, Renulu Rotimi Ogundele, my wonderful children, Mayo Dele, Mayo Dikuko, Mayo Miku, Mayo Midola. Thank you so much for always being there. And a special thank you to all my families and friends there. Thanks so much for always coming on board, celebrating my pastor there, Misan. Thank you. Musumola, my wonderful doctor. I'm going to link you now. Musu, let me just know where you're there live because I can see you. So I'm just going to connect you now. So thank you so much for always coming on board. As you know, today's the show makes people know the way we are. Like I keep saying, I don't have the right answer. I don't have it Mosun now. So that's why I'm trying to do that now. I'm just trying to work on that now. So while we're working on that, so I'm just going to connect you. But while we're working on that, thanks for coming on board, Tony Akefolari. Thank you. And I enjoy what you're doing. Just keep on doing it. And I just want to celebrate every one of you because I keep saying it. If I keep coming here, like today I actually had flu over the weekend. I'll see you next Sunday to do the conclusion part of the topic we started last week. So not just to disappoint anyone, I'm like, oh, I need to just be able to come. I need to pull myself together and just come up to this evening. And I want to say thank you for always coming on board, the encouragement words, the text messages, everything I get. I appreciate you. I celebrate you so much. Today, don't forget, because I might actually forget by the time I invite our guest speaker. And I just want to tell you that don't forget, next Sunday is actually Father's Day. It's going to be a very interesting one. And why? Well, actually, during this week, I know most of us, we've not gotten our present, our card. Like I keep telling you, it doesn't have to be expensive, but don't forget to get that lovely card for your spouse. And if you're still dating, there's nothing wrong in getting a lovely card and a small present. It's just the heart that matters. It doesn't have to be a big one. Thanks so much for coming on board, Beardo Shifaya Toyin. Thanks for coming on board. I celebrate you. I appreciate you. Like we started last week, we're going to conclude it today. So is the conclusive part of what we started last week about the well-being of our children, and it's something that is just it burdens my heart, and it's like a passion that I have, because when you hear lots of things happening nowadays, I'll just tell you a little story what I've actually heard. We're thinking we're going to bring some people on board to be able to talk to us about their experience, what they've gone through, especially the young adults, teenagers that's what happened now. That's a little bit recap of what we did last week, because we just realized that young adults, teenagers, they're actually killing themselves. That's suicide. They're committing suicide. Let me use the right word. And we're just thinking that what could be the cause of this suicide? Or is it something, the pressure they're going through at school? Some of them is just maybe they've been bullied and they can't really tell their mom or their dad when they get home. And some are actually like, they've just changed school, they don't have any friends, and in their former school they're kind of the one, they're the bubbling type, the friendly one, so they're in the new school now and nobody's trying to be their friend. Or some of them have actually just changed their subject and they don't even like that subject. And some of them, maybe it's what happened is that some people, they actually in boarding school. Most cases that we're actually hearing is about people in boarding school. So, and things happen in boarding school too. We're not saying boarding school is not good. I went to boarding school, like I said last Sunday. So all the questions we have today, can we put it together? Because we're going to invite our wonderful consultant. She's my good friend. She's my daughter. She's I can just keep using her from now to tomorrow. That's Dr. Mosun Akefolari in the house. I'm going to connect you, Mosun. I'm just trying to do that. I don't know why this is actually not just happening, so that I can do that. I can connect you. So any questions that we have, we can actually just put all those questions down. She will be able to tell us the reason, and maybe some things we just realize. Some people just think, sometimes we say, oh, those children are just spoiled. And from my own side of view now, I just realized that it's not that they have been spoiled. Maybe it's something that is actually happening because of where we come from. Most people just shy away from the topic of this mental well-being. We don't want to have that stigma, and we don't want to even seek help. You've noticed some changes in your children, and you're still keeping it under the carpet. Like what I said last week, I said we should just voice up for help. We need help. If we need help, there's nothing there. There's no big deal there. Let's look for people. Let's be able to talk that we need help, and there are people that will be able to actually do that for us. So and that is one thing that I said. And so, like what we said is that I don't want to take most of our time. That's why I want to quickly just invite Mosun there to actually say one or two things. So if you have some question, we can be typing it out, because that's the best thing we can do anyway. We can call it, so we can actually type it out. Maybe there's a particular thing, or maybe you've actually noticed some things about a particular child of yours that is behaving somehow, and you're just thinking, oh, everything will be fine. We know everything will be fine, but that sometimes we just need people, especially this the specialists, to be able to tell us the way it is. So we are talking about today's topic, as I said, is about our well-being of our children. Well-being. You'll be surprised that sometimes we have kids as little as 10, and they have some personal issues too that they think. Like I said last Sunday, that I've heard a young adult actually saying that, oh, we don't know what she's actually going through. You understand? So, and people that were actually laughing. And sometimes you think they're not going through anything. I must tell you, they're going through different things too. But because we just oversee, they're like, oh, they'll be fine. So we just need to be able to create that love, and we need to be able to move closer to them. We need to understand them more. You understand? So as parents, as mothers, I know some of us, we need to go to work. I'm just giving you my own, oh, thanks for coming on board, John. I'm just giving you my own literary understanding about well-being of teenagers. So thank God I've seen some young adults there in the house now. So all your questions you have now, we have a consultant in the house who I'm going to invite in about 2 minutes time, and she'll be able to answer your questions, the ones maybe I don't really understand. I'm just saying it from a normal perspective. So she'll be able to give us all the details and the things that with the well-being, like the story I said I was going to say. The story I heard was actually about a girl in a boarding school. She had everything going, everything is fine, but what just happened is that somehow maybe she doesn't even have her parents. They are so busy. When she gets home, she has been around, she has actually been in school for a while now, and when she get back home and she wants to talk to the mom, she just wants to tell the mom something. At the end of the day, there's nobody to talk to, and she has some burdens. So she has some things that is actually burdening, and she actually got to the path of actually committing suicide in the boarding school. But thank God for the house mistress that just saw her what was there, and she's just a young girl of about 13. There's some issues that is going all around. This happened in Africa, but it can happen anywhere in the part of the country. So it's actually happening. So it's not just maybe we're saying, oh, it's just going to be in Africa alone, or maybe in Europe, or maybe in America. It's happening everywhere. So some of the things that we know and it's actually prodding us is that we want to see how we can help them, how we can be more friendly to them. Maybe it's something that we as mothers are doing that we need to really watch, or maybe it's something that we as fathers are doing that we need to watch out. Maybe we need to show more love, or maybe we need to pay more attention, or maybe when we change houses, because that actually happened to them. We change environments, we change houses, and we just realize that they're in a new school and they don't like that school. So I'm actually going to pop you there on. I'm going to put you there now, Dr. Mosun, while I'm actually doing where I'm trying to connect you. So I'm just trying to make sure we can get you there. Okay. So like what I was actually saying, I was actually talking about the well-being of our children. I don't want to take most of our time. That's why I want to invite the doctor to be able to explain. Thanks for coming on board, GK. Thank you. I celebrate you, my sister. Thank you for always coming on board. Thank you for your for your words of encouragement every time. Well, so if you have any question, you can actually type that down now. We can write that while we're waiting to connect her. So maybe it's something that has been bothering you. Maybe it's something you've noticed about your child. Maybe, and you know, sometimes because of this technology now, we just realize most of these children, they just keep to themselves. And while they keep to themselves, we're just like, oh, they're using their phone. But sometimes they might be using that phone, but there are lots of things actually going on in their mind, and they won't be able to actually say it. So while we're don't let's take it for granted that they're actually using their phone. Might be using their phone, yes, but while they're using their phone, sometimes you just go around to talk to them to see what is really happening. What can you really ask them about their school? What is happening today? What is the best thing that they've done today in school? You understand? We just encourage them by just coming on board and just talking to them and knowing how everything is going on. Don't just assume they've gone to school and everything is fine. Let's know that, oh, fine, they've gone to school. What is happening? Concerning the subjects, concerning their parents. It might even be peer pressure. Do you understand? It might be peer pressure. And even as peer pressure, maybe to get boyfriends, or they're trying to get. So, you know, some things just happen like that, that we just take them like, okay, they're in that age that, oh, they don't really need that communication. Sorry if you can hear voices at the background. It's just my technical department. They're trying to connect our guest speaker there. So, so just sorry about that. We can just keep talking. If you have any contribution, or maybe you have any questions, we can just write that question down and we will be able to answer you there. So like what I was saying is that, so maybe it's just that some of them are even in that age, they're like 21 and they're like, oh, they don't have a date, and that might even be an issue to them. So sometimes we need to know what they are going through. We don't just assume that, okay, fine, once they're 18, they're okay, they're fine, they just do things their own way. The best thing we can actually do is that let's encourage them, let's talk to them, let's open up to them. Don't leave them in their own world, because sometimes we don't have that time. And apart from that, we need to know the kind of children, the kind of friends they're actually keeping. You know, some people are actually keeping friends that most of us don't even know. We don't even know our children's friends. We don't even know the kind of friends they're keeping. And what I heard is that nowadays, 1 minute, you can just unblock that. Sorry, I think we just need to click this and we just add that to it. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to do that. So what happened is that what I'm actually saying is that sometimes we don't even know their friends that they are keeping. Some of these friends that are actually keeping, we don't know if they don't bring them home. We don't encourage them to bring them home. They just do things at their they just do things at their own pace. So, you know, sometimes we just need to know our children's friends. We need to know the kind of friends they're keeping. We need to encourage them to bring their friends home. Be it boys, be it girls, is better when they get to a particular age. And what I actually do, you know, sometimes, and what I heard nowadays, before I see what I truly do, let me just show you. And I heard that for these people that are even committing the suicide, they don't even keep it quiet. They write it on their walls. And most of us, we're not their friends on the Facebook. We're not their friends on Instagram. We're not their friends on Twitter. We're not our children's friends. So you don't even know the kind of things they're writing on the wall. So lots of things they're writing on the walls that we're just actually and people outside are seeing it. So I think the first thing we need to do when we have children on all the social media, it's a very good thing. We need to be their friend. We need to know exactly what they're actually going through. We need to understand their being. We need to understand maybe there is any special thing they need that we're not there. So in short, what I'm trying to say is that we need to actually be their best friend. So let's be getting all our questions ready. We're still working on that. We're working on now to get our special guest on board, but I'm just trying to give you the overview of what we said last Sunday and what we said last Sunday about mental well-being. So I like when someone actually said something. Oh, I remember. Yeah, it was Toyin that said that. So thanks for coming on board again, Toyin. Toyin actually said that we need to be their friends. I've actually said that because especially we people that have girls. as children. But I now said that if you have girls, if you have boys, just make sure you are their friends. Some of these young adults, they have an issue. You don't even know. And some of them, maybe, like I said something, when they get to that particular age of late, young adults as in late teens, they're beginning to think about relationships. But we are now thinking that, oh, we are not even thinking in that line. We're still thinking about their school. Fine, their school is fine. We need to talk about school too. We need to talk about the university. We need to talk about everything. But we need to come to their level to understand exactly what they're going through at that particular time. So that's it. So if please, I enjoy all contribution, everything that is actually any contribution in the house, I will accept. I will appreciate that. I'm just trying the technical. We're trying to connect. Dr. Mosue is there. She's waiting to come in online. So I think I will just quickly. We're just trying to connect that before any attempt of okay. So, and like what I said is that before any attempt, I know there's some signs that we would have noticed in our children, because it's so rampant nowadays. And, when we just hear that a young child of about 13 commits suicide, you just be wondering what are they thinking about? What can be the issue? What is the problem? You understand? So, but sometimes we're like, okay, fine. Like I keep saying, don't think that they're not actually thinking about anything. So there are some things they're actually going through. Let us be their friends on social media. Let us know where they're actually thinking about. Let them know what is happening to them. Let us know who their friends are. Let us know what exactly they're going through. And I'm actually trying to then again, like someone said something over the week. He said that he just realized his friend's daughter is actually misbehaving, and the mom and the dad, they didn't know because they are not always around, and the mom is the traveling type. The mom has traveled. You understand? We're not condemning anybody now, but we're just trying to say that we should try and give more audience to our children. We should try to understand them more. We should try to really know exactly what is happening. I think what's going to happen now is that we're trying. Thanks for coming on board, Dolakwa. Thank you. I celebrate you there. Today's topic, we're talking about the well-being, the mental well-being of a young adult there, and we're just trying to connect our consultant there. I don't know what is actually happening, so we're just trying to do that now. So while we're there, like what I said, let's just write all the questions that we're going to have for us, because we're not going to waste your time there. So we can actually be typing, or maybe if you have any questions, we can actually be typing. I just want to be sure you're still there. Mosun Fakwanda, are you still there? If you're still there, Dr. Mosun, can you just say hello to me to be sure you are there? If you are there, let me know you're there, because I don't know what is happening. I was actually going to connect you there. Okay, Mosun is there now, so fine. So if you have any question, I'll just introduce Mosun Akinfolari Fakwanda. That's Dr. Mosun. She's a consultant. She's a psychiatric consultant, so she understands what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the literary meaning of the well-being of the children. So she will be able to explain to us. So Mosun, I'll just ask you this question. It's so unfortunate that I can't hear your voice today. I don't know why, but I'll just ask you this question now. Is that okay? What are the signs that we're going to what are the signs, the first signs we'll be able to pick out from our children when we know maybe they need help, or maybe we know what are the signs, what are the main signs that we'll be able to actually pick out from them? It would have been nice to hear your voice, but you can just type that, and maybe I'll just be doing the reading out for you. And if any one of us here, oh, thanks for coming on board, Jukwe. And if anybody actually has a question, what we can do, we can type it, and while we type it, I'm going to read it out. So we will be able to actually, and Dr. Mosun will be able to answer us there. So I just want to know if you got the first question I said there, Mosun. I said, what are the first signs we're going to notice in our children? Maybe we realize maybe they need help. Is there anything they're particular? What are the first signs we need to watch out for? Because this is so important for us, because most of us were just ignorant of this. So we just want to know the first sign. So whatever you type, I'm going to be able to read that there now. So anyone that actually, if you have questions, if you have contribution, while we're waiting for our doctor in the house to type, we'll be able to just read all the questions, or maybe all the contributions. We'll be able to do that. So I think we can be able to do that from here. Maybe we just, sorry, we're still trying to type that. So like what I was saying, I said the well-being, we're talking about the well-being of the children. So like sometimes, oh, thanks for coming on board, Tunde Shoyombo. You know, sometimes we just wonder that why is this child keeping quiet? Why is this child keeping to him or herself? Is that particular thing? Is that what was the reason that she's keeping quiet? Or is it that from the young age, that's the way it's been? And you know, there's some cases I've heard when we parents are very busy, we just send the young ones to the room. Just take your phone, take your iPad, just go to the room and play and just play your game there. You know, we don't know, and we don't know what they're playing. Most of these things, that shooting game, this, and they get so addicted to it. And before we know it, they're even teaching them. There are some films, you know, there are some films they watch that they learn some things there. And there are some films that they are so suicidal that the things are actually going through their head, and they're beginning to think that, oh, so I can actually do this too. This is not really a bad idea to do. So I just want, so like I said, what are the signs that we need to watch out for? So if you can actually type that, if you can type that for us, we'll be able to read that and just explain that. Would have been nice to hear your voice, but I don't know what happened. But we'll just take that today. So just let us know, what are the signs that we need to watch out for in our young adults, in our children, because I just realized it's not even when they're up to teenagers. There are some people that they're actually even just, they're in their 10 and they're actually still thinking suicidal. So it's not just only teenagers, but it's just that nowadays it's more about teenagers and young children and also the young adults. So what are the first things we need to watch out for? That's what we're waiting to do now. So I'm actually waiting for that then now. So what are the things? Because, you know, sometimes when we realize this one, oh, fine, they're not sleeping, they're crying, and they're getting irritated. You know, sometimes, and so what's in the case is that if you've not seen any child that is going through that line, so people might just come and just forget, she's just being spoiled. Oh, he's just being spoiled. Oh, is that not how somebody's son started? And, you know, people say different sorts of things. They say different stuff. So that's why I'm just like, oh, how can we help them when we notice all these blunt emotions? They are not smiling, they're just keeping to themselves. How do we really help them with this? It would have been nice. I don't know. So I was just, okay. You said change in education attainment. Thank you. Lack of interest in things. Okay. So like I said earlier on too, that's exactly what Dr. Mosu is saying there. He said maybe when they change in the education, or maybe what happened is that they're actually expecting some particular grades. They've actually done their common entrance and they're going to secondary school, or they're going to university, and they were expecting some grades and they didn't meet up with that grade. And it's a lack of interest in things they previously enjoy. Maybe the boy is the kind of person, oh, he actually likes partying, likes talking around, and at the end of the day, all of a sudden he actually lost his interest. So what are the things? You know what is actually coming to my mind now, just to, so maybe if you can help us with that. What are the things that could make them not get interested anymore? What are the things? You said they're not bothered about self-appearance. They not wanting to go to school. Okay, they don't want to go to school anymore. They're not bothered about the appearance. I'm just thinking from my own knowledge now that if they don't want to go to school anymore, maybe it's the teacher that is even a bully. You know, sometimes we feel it's only their friends that have just been bullied. Okay, thank you. Let me just read that. You said the simplest way to find out what is wrong is to ask them. Oh, thank you very much. So the simpler way is that you don't just assume that, oh, you know, sometimes we just assume that, oh, because, oh, you know, when boys get to that particular age, maybe when they are 20, they're 21, they start doing things on their own. Don't let's assume for them. Let us ask questions. Let us come out there and ask questions. We don't want to lose our children. You know, there are some things I know, especially when they're getting to that age, they want to achieve so many things. They're like, oh, I'm actually 20 already. Oh, I need to have finished my university. Or someone else. They start comparing with their friends. But we need to ask them. We need to talk to them. We need to know what is in their mind. What are they feeling? Is that maybe some of them is just like, oh, now and there's nobody that is dating me. Like I keep telling you, don't worry about the age. You just keep on doing what you're doing. Be good, be loving, be caring, just be yourself and don't be nasty. You know, those men will come and the girls will come too. You know, sometimes, but that is what we need to do as parents. We need to encourage them. We need to go to them. We don't just abandon them. Don't think because they're that age now or once they are 16, we just believe, oh, they should know what they're doing. They don't know. Because when we were 16, our parents didn't leave us. When we were 16, when we were 18, even when we were 25, they were still there until when we got married. Even after marriage, they still keep praying for you. So, you know, there's some things, like we said, it's Dr. Mosu said there. He said the simpler way to find out what is wrong with them is to ask them. Ask them questions. Talk to them. Find out what can you do. And when they tell us this, as mothers, as fathers, what is the best thing that we can actually do? As in, what do we need to just tell them that, oh, I need to take you to a psychiatric, or I need to just take you to a special class? Or how do we just put in that to them so that they will be able to understand? Because the word psychology, most people don't like it. When they just tell you that you need to say psychologist, they're just like, oh, no. There's nothing wrong with me. Mommy, what do you think? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm okay. Everything is fine. Okay, let me just quickly read what Mosu said there. He said, they may not answer the first time you ask. Keep your cool and ask again. Okay, so I hope we'll be able to. We're getting that, because the psychiatric consultant is telling us that now, that the first time you're asking, they might not answer you. Don't worry, it's normal. You keep your cool and say, ask them again. So, and I said on request, someone they're very close to ask them. Okay, so tell someone that is very close to ask them. Simple. Teenage issues can be solved at this level before requiring professional support. Okay, so someone that is very close to them, maybe their friends. It's true, because what I even heard, that what happened is that most people, actually, most young children, they tell their friends before even telling us parents that they're going through anything. That is even ever they even tell us. That's what I even hear. And you know, if you know that, so that is why, you know, before Mosu actually said that we need to know our children's friends. We need to know the kind of friends they're keeping. And imagine you don't know their friends. So how will you be able to tell them that, oh, there's something actually wrong with your friend and is actually not talking? There's something wrong with Shola and she's not talking to me. So could you please talk to her? But if you don't know their friends, they won't be able to help you. So it's actually coming down to knowing their friends. So we need to know the kind of friends they keep. And now we advise us as mothers, as fathers, let us invite our children's friends home. Sometimes they don't want to come to our house. They're like, oh, mommy, they are fine. They don't want to come. Oh, but sometimes maybe they don't want to come. You can organize something that all of you can actually meet there together, and you can just say, like a family picnic, or invite your friends and their parents, invite them. So just go out together, at least to be able to know the kind of people that your children are actually going out with. It's okay. So you said they might, okay, thank you so much. So before they said we need that professional advice, let's talk to their friends. Let's know what their friends, so they will be able to tell their friends. And you know, sometimes if you're very good with the friends, before you know it, the friends will be able to come out and talk to you about what exactly they are going through. So they will be able to actually tell you that. So if you have any, thank you so much, Dr. Mosu. If you have any, maybe you have anything that is just actually coming up, it might be a question, it might be a contribution, like what I keep telling in Talk to Auntie Shola show. We keep loving ourselves. We like loving one another. We don't just say we know it all. No, we don't know it all. I'm actually someone that is just my passion. I just want to encourage people. I just want to tell people out there that you don't lose hope. There is still hope. There is life. So even maybe don't feel as a parent that you are a failure. You are not a failure. You might be going through one or two things. Your children might be going through one or two things, but you are thinking that, oh, but I brought them in a Christian way. I brought them up in a Muslim way. Oh, they're doing fine. They do this every day. Don't get discouraged. There is still hope. You know, sometimes it can be very discouraging and just thinking, oh, but I've done everything for these children. I've done it. No, don't get discouraged. That is why we need to be their friend. That is why we need to talk to them. So that is why we need to just keep encouraging them. I just want to say what Toyi read. I can't see what Toyi, if you are there, Toyi Adigberu, I can't see what you've written. If you don't mind, if you can just paste it again, so I'll be able to read it out. Because if you have any question, I'll be able to read, and if it's a contribution, I'll be able to read that, because sometimes it goes quickly and I won't be able to say that. I just saw your name just passing there. So sometimes we know that different things that's actually just happening. That we're going through some things. We're just like, oh, what is happening to them? We need to know what is happening to them. Don't leave them to that decision. They want to pick their subjects, encourage them. Gone are those days that, in our days that, oh, people are like, oh, they need to do this for us. That doesn't happen. We just let them be our friend. Let us be able to talk to them. Let us be able to know exactly what they're going through. Don't leave them in their own world. Don't leave them that everything is fine. I hope you can still hear me, because I just realized I think there is a bit lost in communication there. If you can still hear me there, you can just say hello there, because I've just been talking. I just want to know if you guys are still there. So you can just do a thumbs up, so I'll be able to say you're okay. I can see that. Also, thank you so much. So like I was saying there, Tony, I think you pasted something, but I didn't see it. If it's a contribution, you can actually just write that contribution again. And if you any question that we have there for Dr. Mosunchu, we'll be able to answer that question. Even everything is important to us, but they are our number one priority. We need to be their friends. We need to know exactly what they are going through. Maybe there are particular things you want them to do and they don't want to do it. I'm talking about profession now. Why don't you meet halfway? Let us know why they want to go at that line, and when they don't want to go the line you're actually telling them. So let us meet halfway. Let us come to their level. Let us understand them. I know if you want to think about, oh, when we were growing up, we did not say this, we did not say that. I know. And which I'm still in that school of thought. So I'm an old school. But sometimes old school, we just need to come down to be able to. Okay, let me just quickly read what Mosun said there. Sorry, we were unable to connect today, Shola. I'll be happy to come on again at a future date. Apologies. Oh, that's fine, Mosun. Thank you so much. I don't know what happened that you can actually come on. So thank you so much. So I think what's going to happen is that we're going to still bring you back. You understand? We're going to bring you back. It might not be next Sunday. It might be so at the future day, like because I know you're a very busy person. So I'm going to get that date from you after the show. Then we'll be able to bring you back there, Dr. Mosun. Thank you so much. And so that you'll be able to talk and people will be able to ask questions, because I think it's easier like that when they hear your voice, they'll be able to ask the questions. But the most important thing that you've written today, they're so good. We can even still read it after the show. And those are the signs that we need to watch out for when your children are beginning to have these signs. Maybe they want to be in isolation, they don't dress the way they used to dress, they're keeping to themselves. Maybe they are the ones that like going out with friends, they're just doing things their own way. Find out, talk to them. When they're too quiet, go to them. Young adults, children, you just realize even children as ages from 10 years now, different things happen. You understand? So let's go back to our drawing board. Let's be their friends. Let's know their friends. So I just want to celebrate everyone. I thank you so much. You understand? So if you have any questions, if you have any contribution, we can actually just write. You can, even after the show, I keep encouraging people after the show to still keep writing, to keep saying, sharing one or two things. I want to celebrate everyone. Like Talk to Auntie Shola Relationship Talk Show. We just love one another. We love keeping it so real. We just appreciate everyone there. So like I said at the beginning of the program, I said next week Sunday is Father's Day. It's going to be so interesting. All our fathers in the house. If you're still dating, celebrate the man you're dating. If you're in the house, you've been married for 30 years, 40 years, it doesn't matter. Make your husband that boyfriend you were dating before. Spice up your marriage. If you're not going on with anything this week, you're going on with two things. We're so sorry. Apologies for the technical issues. Sorry about that we couldn't bring our doctor Mosu into the house, but she promised to come on board at a future date, and which we're going to organize. We're going to bring her back, because we're talking about sensitive issues today, because we need to know the reason why those children are behaving that way, and we need to know when we need to bring in a professional in a professional day. So we're going to communicate that future date to you guys. So like I said, don't forget to buy your present. Don't forget to buy your card. Next week Sunday is going to be very interesting, romantic. Make it romantic. Let them enjoy it. And I'm sure, don't, like I keep saying, don't do things for Tada. Oh, after all, on Mother's Day, you didn't get me a present. I know you didn't get your present on Mother's Day, but you know what? You can start by getting a present on Father's Day. It doesn't have to be expensive. It might just be something very little. If you have any contributions, like what we're treating now is somebody that actually suggested we should treat it. So if you have anything that is bothering you, or like a topic, you can actually just send me a personal message or my messenger or my WhatsApp, so we can actually come and we talk about the program and we talk about the topic openly. So like we say, it's not something we just dictate to people. We like contributions. We just enjoy it. And I celebrate you, my friends, for always coming on board to listen, to contribute. You're not just only listening, you're contributing, because I don't know it all. And don't forget, we just keep loving one another. Keep loving on Talk to Ashola Relationship Show. Keep loving. I'm going to see you next Sunday. And next Sunday is going to be a fantastic one. The Lord is going to keep us, and we're not going to mourn any over of our children in Jesus' name. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful week, and keep loving. Thank you. Bye. God bless you. Bye.